A little bit country, a whole lot of rock and roll. The OKC Fest is this weekend in downtown Oklahoma City. The rock on Friday, the country on Saturday, and the man behind the scenes is this gentleman joining us here in the Oklahoma's downtown video studios, Mr. Fred Hall. Sir, it's a pleasure to meet you, and thanks so much for stopping by this morning.
Dave, this is a pleasure for me too, and here we are. We've got good weather for the first time in a month, and outside music festival, and lots of great acts, so it's going to be a rockin' and country great weekend.
It is an outdoor music festival in downtown Oklahoma City near the Chesapeake Energy Arena, just south of the Myriad Gardens, I believe. And yeah, I guess looking at that forecast a couple weeks out, you were probably thinking, are we going to need the rain slickers for this, the umbrellas?
Yeah, an arc is what we were worried about, and let's play it on a big boat someplace. But we've got good weather, and it's going to be great, and festival for everybody, and it'll be a good time.
Well, last year was the first time for OKC Fest. Walk us back through the history of how this got started. If I remember correctly, it was a warm time last year.
So a couple of years ago, with tragedies of the May tornadoes that came through Oklahoma City, we had great Oklahoma artists come back and play and raise money for that tornado relief. And so the mayor came to me and said, Fred, look, these artists are coming back, and it's for a good reason, but what if we can build an industry in Oklahoma, keep the artists here in Oklahoma City, and build ourselves so that nobody has to leave to go away to build their music career? And that's how all this started. So the genesis of this is to build a music industry in Oklahoma City. I think we can. We've got great artists here. And so what we devised was a music festival that uses all Oklahoma City people, 100%. From the production side to the marketing side to every bit of it is Oklahoma City, and hopefully building their industry and making this thing grow. And then, hey, let's have a fun time building an industry at the same time.
And I believe a lot of people had fun last year. A lot of people showed up for this.
We had about 25,000, 30,000 people show up the first time, and we can do more this year. One of the things we have learned is we're building a bridge over Harvey, and so expanding our footprint, and we have a lot more food, a lot more beverage, and a lot more space for people in the main area to watch some great music.
Last year, OKC Fest 2014, Merle Hagar, Dierks Bentley, Lady Antebellum were on the list. And I was going to ask you that. You dovetailed nicely into the next question. What did you guys learn from last year that you're implementing this year and perhaps expanding upon this year?
We learned to have a broader footprint, to have a lot more entrance and exits. Egress and ingress is very important to everybody, and so a much easier way to get in, less lines to get in. Come on, you're not going to be standing in line. We're going to have a lot of ways to get in and out, exit, and so we learned a lot of that last year. It's a much better and better situated festival this year.
I mentioned the rock on Friday. It's headlined by Sammy Hagar, formerly of Van Halen fame. You know, I have some friends coming into town for this event, and the ones from Dallas, they're big Grace Potter fans, so that was their draw. And for me, it's Sammy Hagar. I grew up listening to Van Halen. But yet another friend was like, better than Ezra's coming in, I'm sold. You really hit and music is that way. Different acts appeal to different people.
We do, and we have 4 or 5 that could highlight that night. I mean, so we've got Sammy Hagar, who's awesome, and
how did you pull in Sammy? You're right. He's got bigger than life personality.
He is bigger than life, and he doesn't do many festivals. But we know the agent in Nashville that represents, and I said, "Come on." And you have
Nashville connections.
I have Nashville connections. I went, please let me have Sammy, and yeah, I'll let you beat me at the golf course next week, but please let me have him. And it worked, and brought him in. So Sammy, and then Grace Potter, who is getting hotter and hotter, and now she's doing double with country, and her last album was a lot of country, and then Better Than Ezra, and then Drive-By Truckers, come on, and then Graham Colton, our own Oklahoman.
Yep.
So we've got a tremendous night Friday night to get things kicked off.
All right, and let's preview Saturday night. I believe that's the country side of things. Rascal Flatts.
Rascal Flatts is here, and Rascal Flatts again, Nashville connections, bringing him in. There's one from Oklahoma, a guy from Oklahoma City there, and I know the restaurants they go to in Nashville, and so it'll be fun to reunite with Rascal Flatts, and here we have a lot of other great people.
Hank Williams Jr.
again, who does not do many concerts anymore, and to put him on the list with that. And then before that, we've got Lucas Hogue, whose career is just skyrocketing, and he's been touring with Sammy with Hank Williams Jr. here lately, so they should play some songs together as well. So it'll be good.
The OKC Fest is Friday and Saturday night. It's downtown. You can still get tickets at okcfest.com. And speaking of tickets and proceeds, this goes to a good cause. You mentioned earlier building the music industry, but explain that a little bit more.
Yeah, building the music industry is important by using all Oklahoma Cityans, but also proceeds of this that go beyond our costs and go beyond what we have to save for next year, we want to give away completely. We're not making a cent out of this. I'm not making any money out of this. This is a labor of love for me to grow an industry in Oklahoma City. So we hope to be able to have proceeds to give to music equipment in public schools or give to colleges and their music departments. And the more people support this, it's a very fair ticket, but come down, support this, because you're more than just enjoying some great music. You're supporting Oklahoma City musicians, back scene people, and hopefully schools and education as well.
You're a smart man. You surround yourself with smart people. What's next? I know you guys are always thinking big picture of, hey, let's get this up and running. Let's make it a success. But then there's always those visionaries out there. What could this be in 5 years or 10 years?
Well, this last week we announced with Graham Colton and Brian Bogert that we're going to build a music entity, music building that will be open 365 days a year.
As the west side of downtown.
The west side of downtown. And so here we are with OKC Fest, and here we are now with the music building, and I think we're tying both together. And again, that's going to employ more Oklahoma Cityans in the music industry and have fun all the nights of the week. And then we hope to add to OKC Fest with other drawings too throughout the year.
He's Fred Hall. He's one of the visionaries behind OKC Fest, Friday and Saturday night this week in downtown Oklahoma City. Best of luck with everything, and
Thank you, Dave.
Thanks so much again.